Right, so SABC News reporter Katlego Nyoni is at a sports pub in Polokwane where fans are gathering ahead of the Springboks game against France tonight. Katlego, good afternoon once again. Early on, you were in conversation with some fans, and as we know, it's a big game tonight. It's the quarterfinals. Perhaps you could give us another update as to how fans are really feeling ahead of tonight's game. All right, Katlego Nyoni, let's see if we can get you back in the line there. You early on spoke to us, some fans rather hopeful about South Africa's encounter against France tonight. Are you perhaps with some other fans? What are their sentiments ahead of the game tonight?
Well, we're still here at the sports bar in Polokwane, where of course scores of fans are expected to gather here as we approach that 9 o'clock mark for the clash of the Titans as Le Bleu, France, take South Africa in that in Polokwane, where of course there is much excitement. Earlier on we spoke to fans who expressed their support for the Springboks, and everybody here is hopeful that South Africa will hopefully lift off that Webb Ellis Cup for the 4th time as the defending champions, playing against the host nation France. I'm standing with some of the Springboks supporters here at Nguni Grill. I'm joined by Leo. Leo, thank you very much for joining us on SABC News. I mean, it's an exciting day. I'm anxious, particularly myself. I don't know quite a lot of technicalities about rugby, but your predictions essentially looking at the prospects of South Africa going through to the semi-finals.
I definitely believe we can win this World Cup for sure. The selection of Kobus Reinach was definitely unexpected, but not unwelcome. I definitely think he could bring something to the table to bring to the quarterfinal, to win this quarterfinal for South Africa. Hashtag stronger together. Definitely.
And looking at the squad that's going on to face France tonight, are you happy with it? What do you think about the squad that the coach of the Springboks has selected?
Well, I think it's a very experienced squad, definitely. Like I said, the Kobus Reinach was unexpected, but he is very good in his position. The center pair is not a, let's say, it's not a bad center pair. It's an unorthodox. Jesse Kriel and Damien Delende. It's not a bad decision, but also it's a risky one in my eyes.
Your score predictions?
That's a difficult one. Honestly, it's definitely a win. It's not going to be an easy one. I think we will win with 10. Let's say maybe 20-30, 18-28, around there. Yes, definitely.
Thank you very much, Leo. I'm going to speak now to Leo's friend and supporter of the Springboks, JD. JD, based on what your colleague was telling us, what do you make of tonight's match?
I'm actually very excited. Hopefully the Springboks pull through. I hope they come through. I'm a bit skeptical of France because everybody's about De Ponte being their main man, and now because of his injury, I've seen a few articles about they saying they can't take a lot of head injury. But come on, man, it's rugby. If it's fair in as the tackle is fair and the guy hits his head on the ground, it's not the Springboks' fault. We are a big man, a hard man. Yeah, we are the most feared team in the world, so go boykies.
And do you think the fact that France are the host nations that might have a slight edge over South Africa?
Yeah, they have their fans back there, but most of us like here around the sports bar, and it's going to get more crowded here later on. The boys we have our boys backs, and like they have their fans, we're always supporting our team.
And some of the rugby legends come from Limpopo. We've got like the likes of Victor Matfield. Yeah, you know them better than me. So do you think Limpopo is represented?
Yeah, for sure, man.
Yes.
As you see, we're always here for rugby. Always, if it's rugby time, we're always there.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. So these are some of the fans who have arrived here at the sports facility to come and watch, the sports bar, to come and watch the rugby match. You can see there's a big television screen there, and at the moment it's a literal game of waiting and seeing if South Africa will pull through and eventually go through to the semi-finals. But for now, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Jayed Paulse in Durban.
Can I hear programs? Well, thank you, Kat. And here in Durban, I can tell you that we're at the Westville Boys Club, and people have really started flocking in to watch the game. But you know what? This crowd just behind me, it wouldn't be a Sunday afternoon, it wouldn't be a weekend in South Africa if you don't have a bit of a chop on a braai, a bootjie course, and obviously wearing your Springbok regalia. So these men and women have made it down to the Westville Boys Club ahead of the game, and let's try and find out from them what is the score predictions. So tell us, what are you expecting from tonight's game?
Yeah, no, look, it's going to be an absolute crack of a game. I definitely think the Boks are going to win by 8. I think if we take them on head on, forward's going to dominate. I think Mani Lebok's going to have clean ball. I think 5 points are better than 3 after today.
Just speaking about Mani Lebok, obviously he was also trending a lot for missing a lot of those kicks, and obviously Pollard being put on the back burner. Are you expecting him to rise to the occasion?
Yeah, no, look, I don't think Mani's going to have a problem with that today. I think obviously the pressure is going to be absolutely immense. I think he's going to put up his socks and know that his country depends on him, and we're all rooting for him. Yeah.
Thank you. And then let's move over here. So what are your score predictions for tonight?
I'm hoping the Boks will win. I'll say by 8. I think it'll be a tight game though, especially France playing from home. But I think it'll be good. I'm excited for the game.
I think we're all on our nerves, especially after last night's game with the Ireland and New Zealand. Yeah. So tell us, who's your favourite player, and who do you think is really going to bring out the guns tonight?
My favourite Bok player? Sabc, definitely. I think we'll win by about 12, hopefully. Playing France in France, host nation, big job. Antoine Dupont back, so we'll see, but I'm pretty confident.
And everyone is saying that, although France has got the home ground advantage, that, we are the best in the world. We're going to take them on head on. So do you think that we're really going to do quite a dent in the first half of that match?
Just judging by the selection, I think we're going to play an attacking game, with a 9 and 10, with Mani and Kobus. So yeah, I think we're going to try and surprise them. Do something a little bit unconventional for the Boks. We'll see.
And who do you think is going to be in the semi-finals?
Well, we know one already. Tricky one, I think. Well, obviously I think the Boks. Fiji, England. Could go either way. They've beaten them recently. And obviously Argentina are there. So yeah, we'll definitely be in the semi-finals. We'll definitely be in the final. We'll definitely win. How's that?
Yeah, we're definitely going to take it.
Take that.
And as the Fiji game is actually starting at 5 o'clock, and I'm sure a lot of people are going to be trickling in to see who takes that game. But what are your predictions for tonight, Rob?
For the Fiji game, I'm not too sure. Also, I'm on the fence with that. But Boks definitely by 10. I think we've just got too much for the French. A lot of pressure for the French being at home, and I just think the Boks have what it takes to get across the line tonight.
Well, gentlemen, thank you very much for talking to us. And then I've got someone that wants to say something. You are also an aspiring rugby player, and who do you think is going to win tonight? It's obvious.
Springbok.
And who's your favorite player?
Siya Kolisi.
Okay, if you could say something to Siya Kolisi right now, what would you say to him?
Go Boki.
Well, go Boki, and that's from Durban here. Everyone is all behind the Springboks tonight, and we are saying bring the gold home. Go through to the semi-finals, Booker. It's back to you in studio.
Are we staying with our rugby coverage? Thanks to both Katlego and Jayed, of course, for bringing us the latest there. Let's go to Pirates Sports Club in Parkhurst, Johannesburg. SABC News senior reporter Sifiso Ramara and SABC News senior reporter Thando Mxoli are previewing the last 2 quarterfinal games taking place tonight. Good afternoon to the both of you. Sifiso, in fact,
a few weeks ago, the Springboks, they've given their all, in the World Cup so far, winning 3 matches. Losing only 1 match against Ireland, which was very unfortunate. We saw 2 closely contested quarterfinal matches last night between the Southern Hemisphere and the Northern Hemisphere, and so far we've seen 2 Southern Hemisphere teams winning. Tonight we've got 2 matches. The first match is England against Fiji, and the second match is the much awaited clash between the Springboks and the hosts of the 2023 World Cup, France. But you know, I'm now joined by Jeremy. He's an English fan. Obviously, he's rooting for his team. I've spoken to him earlier. He's now based in Johannesburg. Jeremy, how do you see the match tonight at the back of 2 fiercely contested quarterfinal matches last night?
Well, I can't say I'm overly confident. I was probably more confident when England played the All Blacks in the semis back in 2019 in Japan. But you know, we've got a strong team, so I think we'll do it. But it's going to be a close call, like the games yesterday.
People are talking about, you know, the contest between the Southern Hemisphere and the Northern Hemisphere. We've seen 2 Southern Hemisphere teams winning last night, and a lot of people are saying they are expecting the trend to continue. Surely you'll beg to differ.
I would like to differ, yeah, definitely. But you know, I was very sad to see the Irish go out last night. I thought they were going to win. I'm a quarter Irish, so I was hoping they would win. But what a fantastic game, and you know, I thought they had it at the end, but not quite. And always sad to see the Welsh go out, but yeah, also good to see Argentina go through.
Okay, Jeremy is not alone. He came with his sons here. Let's just bring them in and find out from them exactly what they think about the match. Young man, what do you think about the match starting in less than 15 minutes from now?
We're going to win, Mr. Maddox.
We're going to win.
Like Arsenal do, eh?
Yeah. What do you think about the match, man?
Fiji and England. Yeah, I think Fiji might have this play. They already beat England once. If they play hard and keep the lineup that they played against England, they keep that lineup that they played against England before, then they can definitely beat England again. So I think Fiji have this one tonight.
Then later on, it's South Africa against France.
Yeah, I think Boks. It's going to be a tight game, lots of tries. 48-37 to Boks.
Thank you very much. That's a very bold prediction. Let me bring in my colleague Thando Mxoli, an ardent rugby fan. Thando, we've seen 2 closely contested quarterfinals. I mean, we are now at the business end of the World Cup. It's very, very scary.
Listen, last night we saw royalty of rugby. Ireland and New Zealand, they showed the class of the 2 teams, and the cream of the crop is actually rising to the top. New Zealand are 3-time champions of this tournament. Ireland have never gotten past the quarterfinal stage, and unfortunately they got stage fright last night. Today, we've got former champions in England taking on a team that has surprised the World Cup in Fiji. Fiji have not played well against the minor teams in the tournament, but still, they're in the quarterfinals. That's the one thing that matters. And Fiji in past tournaments has always done well against stronger nations. So this could be interesting. If Fiji are brave enough to play the expansive rugby that they're very capable of, that we've seen in the 7th series, listen, England, that tight England defense could be tested in many areas. But that said, England, the likes of George Ford, Owen Farrell, listen, there's quality in that English team, and they've shown the class as they progress in the tournament. The longer this tournament goes, the big name players literally start finding their feet. So this should be a very tight one for me. I'm expecting some real fireworks. It's going to go down to the wire. Everyone, when this tournament started, everyone said England don't have a chance, but listen, they have shown that they've got the class. In the quarterfinals of a Rugby World Cup tournament, that takes some doing.
And later on at 9 o'clock, the much anticipated match between the host France and the defending champions, the Springboks. What kind of match do you expect?
Listen, I'm a bit worried about that one, because the one thing about France, they can match us in every department. If we bring the physical game, they can match us. If we look in the line-out for line-out domination, they can match us. Kicking game, they've got an exceptional kicking game. They'll be lifted by the return of Antoine Dupont, the world's best rugby player at the moment. So it's a tricky one for me. I don't know which way this was going to go. The heart always says the Springboks, and I'd like to see the Springboks progress and have a chance of defending that Webb Ellis trophy, but still, it's too close to call. It really is too close to call. On the day, it's about temperament, and the French will be under a lot of pressure going into a match like this in front of a packed stadium where they're tournament host and the nation is expectant. Not of a quarterfinal result, but a World Cup victory that they've never had, despite being in 2 or 3 finals.
Thank you very much, Thando. We've had there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of excitement at the very same time. Like I said initially, that I'm expecting 2 fiercely contested quarterfinal ties, the same like we saw last night. For now, it's back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Sifiso, and thanks, Thando, for that update previewing the 2 games, the last 2 quarterfinal games, of course, taking place.